Okay, so we want you to be comfortable because we don't want a whole lot of movement, so whatever position you pick, if you can stay in it, we would greatly appreciate that. You straight? You want a water?
No, I'm cool.
You sure? Here, we give you one anyway, just in case.
Okay, so mouth get dry?
Yeah, you know how that goes, man.
Appreciate it.
It's all good. Okay, so you ready to go, young man?
Yep. My name is Sean Johnson. I'm with the African American Oral History Project at Youth Uprising on November 30th, 2012, and I'm interviewing
Kevin Munson, Kevin Munson.
All right, Kevin, I'm gonna ask you a few questions today. First off, what did you eat for breakfast today?
This morning I had a breakfast sandwich, sausage, egg, cheese, and croissant.
What is your favorite childhood memory?
Probably being in my backyard, playing basketball, shooting free throws.
Are you a basketball player?
I was in high school.
What position?
Point guard.
What are the first three words that come to mind when you think about African American men in Oakland?
Black, struggle, power.
What are the first three words that come to mind when you think about yourself?
Gifted, smart, and hard worker.
If you could change one thing about your school, what would it be?
Probably outreach. Meaning how many students actually participate that are black. You know, it's pretty diverse. It's not many black people. Probably say, right now I take a communications class, and I think it's about 5 black students in there.
Out of how many students?
Out of like 35, 30. Mm-hmm.
Please share a time when you felt proud of your culture.
Almost every day. Almost every day. Just being out and seeing that things that we've done have set trends. I was just in the mall the other day and it was crazy. And I'm walking through the mall and I'm purchasing a pair of jeans and a Mexican come through and he got the music loud. Like he walked through the mall, he has his stereo in his hand and he's slapping Lil Boosie, like loud while he's shopping. And I thought like, okay, we influencing people. You know, I saw what he was doing. It was kind of negative and maybe a little ignorant, but I figured he was slapping Lil Boosie and Boosie is African American, so it amazed me.
Please complete this sentence. Community is?
Life.
What is it like being a young African American man in Oakland?
It has its up and downs, you know. It's ups. Being seen as a role model, you know, somebody that's a leader. It's downs. The cops getting behind you just because it's 4 black men riding in a car, you know, then they automatically think you might have a weapon on you or you got some drugs on you, and that's not the case every time, so.
Do you plan on going to college? Why or why not?
I do, and I'm in college right now. I attend Merritt College, and I've been there since '08. I'm not the best student, but I understand that having a degree will get me somewhere, and I'm about 6 classes away from graduating, and I'm still pushing.
Congratulations. Do you plan on going to a 4-year?
I do plan on going to a 4-year. I'm not certain on how it's going to work or what GPA I'll end up getting when I'm headed there or which one I'm going to. But I do plan on going, no matter what it takes or no matter where I'm at.
Do you have a college in mind?
I don't have a college in mind, not specifically, I don't. It doesn't, I don't know, right now it doesn't really matter to me. It just matters if I go.
What do you want to study or your intended major?
Right now I'm a social and behavioral science major, and I'm interested in psychology. I'm very interested in the way people think, the way people do things they do, and the reason people react to certain things the way they do.
Have you ever felt ashamed of your culture?
No. No. Except for, I mean, only thing I might be ashamed of is us not knowing what we're capable of, and us not knowing where we came from. A lot of us not knowing our culture and not even knowing that we have one. I mean, there's been a lot of people that I ask, like, what is your culture? Of my same race, and they won't know, won't have an answer. Not even something simple like saying, hip hop is part of our culture, But yeah.
What gives you hope?
I say being able to wake up every morning, living, being able to know that I do have family. I don't have much, but if I ever need anything, my mom and my brother is what I have, and that's enough for me, I got a father figure. I don't know my biological father, but I have somebody there that I was able to call dad, and I think my family is what pushes me and gives me hope.
Do you have any adults that you can open up to, if any, who?
I do. I feel like it's a couple people I can open up to. Being the way that I am and being the person that I am, so far it's got me a ways, just being cool, calm, and cordial. I'll say somebody I can open to just off the top of my head is Genesis Rubin. She's a music producer, and she's become very close to me, and I feel like that's who I can open up to.
What makes a man?
Providing. That's what I see it. I see it as being able to be a leader, someone who can make something out of nothing at all. And that's what I work towards every day. And someone who's a role model. A lot of people sag. I sag from time to time, but through my process of becoming a man, I have my days where I wear my pants on my behind, And I'm getting to the point where it's like, okay, well, every day I need to wear my pants on my behind, but I'm gonna take the time that I feel like I need to take. I don't really like when older people say, pull your pants up, I'm gonna pull them up. Let me take my time. Let me take my time. Let me grow into it. Yeah, that's being a man to me.
If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
I think it'd be how negative I can be towards myself sometimes. I'm the reason that I don't finish or don't do some of the things that I can do. I put myself down. I'm my biggest what would you call it? I'm my biggest I can't think of the word right now. It's nobody more tough on myself than me. I'm the one who brings myself down whenever that happens. So, yeah.
Where do you feel safe and why?
I feel safe all throughout Oakland, and I just think it's because I grew up here. Not saying that I'm not aware of where I'm at when I'm there, but I haven't been through, too much. A couple of my friends got shot and a couple of fights broke out, but I've never been one to, fear anywhere that I went. It was kind of like, if it happened, it happened. If I'm there and it's the wrong time, it's the wrong time, but I feel like God got me anywhere I go, so I don't really worry too much about that.
What is your greatest strength?
My greatest strength is I won't let nobody tell me what I can't do. I kind of go against the grain. You tell me I can't do it, and it makes me feel like, oh, well, since you said I can't do it, I'm going to do it. And even if I'm wrong a lot of the time, I still try to do it. So that's my greatest strength.
Who is the most successful person you know, and what makes them successful?
I say my mom. My mom, she's a substitute teacher. She's got her BA. She's still working towards being a permanent teacher. But she raised 2 kids. She raised 2 sons on her own. And I see young women out here with 1 kid, and I hear about the struggle. And I feel like she's the most successful person that I can say right now, in my life, like the person I can reach out to.
What is the scariest thing that ever happened to you?
Scariest thing ever happened to me? I was going up 6'4" in MacArthur, and I was going to see a female. And On my way to see her, I got the 6-4 and Mac, and I crossed the street, and I put my foot on that sidewalk, and one of the guys that I used to go to school with or I had seen around seemed as if he didn't know me. And he's like, "What you doing around here?" He's like, "It ain't good like that." I was like, "What?" Like I was, it stopped me, it shook me up, like who you talking to, fam? And you know, I hadn't really been in too much, so I'm thinking, okay, he want to fight me, I'm ready to fight. And I noticed that he had friends around him. After he told me it wasn't cool like that being around here, I got ready to fight. And that's not what he was ready to do. He told one of his friends I was close to him, "Let me see the clip." He had the gun on him already. And with him asking for that clip, I instantly thought, "Oh, it's time to get up out of here." And I ran. I don't care what anybody say. He ran, he a sucker, I don't care. It was my life on the line. And I ran, I got up out of there, they didn't catch me. This lady ended up picking me up and she told me hop in. I didn't know her, but my life was on the line, I didn't care. She was getting me out of the situation I was in. So I hopped in and she was telling me to be careful. She was like, "Yeah, you gotta be careful around here. My nephew just got jumped a few weeks back by the same guys that attempted to shoot me." Or so that's what I thought was gonna happen. And she dropped me off at home. And that was the scariest thing I ever been through.
After dealing with all of that, how did you feel?
I felt like I felt like what my mom had been telling me I should have paid attention to. Girls ain't everything. And it'll come a time when you meet the right one. But I was kinda like, you know, well, I ain't been through what she telling me about, so let me do what I wanna do. I was rebellious, you know. I went against the grain.
Who's your role model and why?
My role model, I think I have multiple role models. Everyone who's in my life and brings positivity into my life is a role model. I've grown and become the man that I am because of the people that surround me, my friends, even people of the same age. I feel like I got a gift, or I see what I should take from the individuals that I'm around. If it's something that I see like, okay, I need to be that, I'll mimic it and I'll copy it. And I've took a little bit from everybody that I've been around, and that's how I grew to be how I am. So I say everybody who's around me and that's positive is a role model.
Just a few more questions. What do you love about Oakland and what will make it even better?
What I love about Oakland is its individuality, but it seems like it's definitely changing. People are starting to see what's going on the East Coast or what's going on in other cities, and I don't want to say bite, but they're not turning it into their own style like they used to. Like 08, 07, it was way different. People will take something and make it their own, and times is changing. So, yeah.
What do people need to know about African American men in Oakland?
Now, we all aren't the same. We definitely all aren't the same, and we need a little guidance. You know, people just leave it like, you know, that's them. That's what they have to deal with. Let's leave them where they at. And we need help too, just like anybody else.
What have you learned from your father?
I've learned from my dad, what could I say I learned from my dad? Be me. Be me, not worry about what everybody else got going on. Mind my business. And I think I put that into context with a lot of things. Like, I think I put that really into me making music. The music that I make, I feel like that's me 100%. Even with me listening to somebody and taking something from it, I've made it my own. And I try not to listen to anybody else. That way I stay creative in my own craft, so, yeah.
Describe your life in 10 years.
In 10 years, I think I'd be one of the biggest artists to ever come out of Oakland. 10 years.
Last question. What advice would you give other African American youth?
Be yourself and don't be a follower. Do what you gotta do. Follow what's right. Make the right decisions. think about it. That's all they got to do. A lot of them don't think for themselves. They see the next person and be like, "Ooh, he's saucy or he clean." Why don't you be the one that they talking about being clean and being saucy? And I think they'll be all right.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I love Oakland.
All right, thank you for your time.